Foxley.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to SRL Tough Talk Tuesdays. We are a bit off schedule, but it's an absolute pleasure to join you. I'm Felix, and I'm here today with my host Tallis, one of the most intellectual people I know in the game of football. How are you going today, Tallis?
Good, mate. Cannot complain. No complaints from me at all.
That's great to hear.
Thing I can say is, how about the support last week? You know, a new podcast,
Exactly
new
right.
talk show coming into the greatest league on earth. And
That's exactly right.
It skyrockets. We don't even have to have ads this week. You guys paid for this week's episode. You paid for the interviews.
Yep.
And we're happy enough not to put ads in for you.
Yep, and it's been an absolute pleasure. All the support. Thank you, and especially Will K. This episode is for you, man. You know, it's great that we can put a smile on someone's face, you know. That's what we love to hear. Because at the end of the day, that's the main goal, just to put a smile on someone's face and make their day a little bit better, because it is hard these days, and hopefully a little podcast can make someone's life a bit better. So, what do we have in store today, Talis?
So first up, we'll go live to Jake Travojevic. Jake Travojevic has some thoughts on the SRL.
Hey guys, how are we all going? You on there?
Yeah, good, Jake. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going really well, mate.
Just got a couple of questions for you. I heard you just become a new SRL fan.
I've been tuning in every couple weeks, trying to get a few games in. It's a tough schedule with what Tony Siebes is cooking up in the Northern Beaches, but, you know, I try my best to watch a game every now and then.
That's really lovely to hear, mate. Now, you are a Manly NRL player. Are you a Manly SRL supporter?
I am. I'm a big fan of the Manly SRL team there. You know, I know they're not the greatest in the league, but they're putting in a really tough shift and doing the Manly Northern Beaches boys proud. I can say that.
And that's just what counts, isn't it?
Exactly right. It's really nice to see those boys get out there and put in a great effort. Just really nice.
That's really nice to hear, mate. So your brother won the Daily M a couple years ago. Now, who do you think is going to win the Sim VP in this year's SRL?
There's a lot of great players, I will say that. But I think it's got to be Kane Chapman-Kenny. He reminds me of a late Anthony Minicello. So many meters, just bumping off players, and I know that's big raps for a player, like, you know, Kane Chapman-Kenny to be compared to Anthony Minicello, but he really deserves it. He's really nice.
That's fantastic to hear, Jake. Well, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure the SRL fans will appreciate you coming on this show.
No worries, mate. Thanks so much for having me. It's really nice to get invited to interviews like this, and I'm sure I'll be back in the future. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one. Now, what an interview that was. Get some insight into the brain of
That was amazing.
Jakey Turbo. What do we got? What do we got next?
I believe we have a live interview with Peter V'landys.
Everyone, welcome in Peter V'landys.
Peter V'landys is here. Here we are. The NRL CEO on the live stream. How good is that?
Wonderful. Peter, how are we? Now, Peter, being as intelligent as you are, obviously you're the CEO, you have to have some sort of intelligence. Otherwise, the game would be going into the shitter.
And he is a smart man, V'landys. He is. There's not doubt that.
Peter, so what are your thoughts on O'Shea Ole?
Highly intellectual, intelligent man.
Yeah, do you think
knows more about the game than any person I've met.
And V'landys, I may ask, you know, as the commissioner of the, you know, a league as superior as yours, there's a lot of controversy that goes around that you have to juggle around. And I have to ask, did you see last week, you know, O'Shea Ole stripping outside his home in Campbelltown? What do you think of all that? Do you have anything to make of that?
They call me showbags, but I won't go there.
So now there's a few talk shows in the SRL community. We obviously got SRL 360, you got our show, and Into the Mines. What's your thoughts on Into the Mines, and would you ever watch it?
If I want to get concussion, yeah, I'd watch it. I reckon that show should be sponsored by Nurofen or Panadol.
Yeah, that's a controversial opinion. I really like Into the Mines and what they're delivering every week, especially as a member of the Blue Tongues. But, you know.
That's what the Mines need.
Yeah, but overall, the SRL, you know, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of it. I have to ask, V'landys, what is your opinion on Malchus Meats, you know, $1 million donation to the AIDS Foundation?
I've never seen a guy that puts more into charities.
Now, that's really nice to hear, Mr. V'landys. It's been a pleasure to have you on here.
Yeah, thanks so much for
having me.
having
You're a busy man, so we'll let you go. Have a good one, mate.
Yeah, thanks so much for taking your time out, Valandis. Well, hopefully you jump on in the future. That was fantastic.
Now, this week's Player of the Week.
So, there were many, amazing players throughout this week of SRL. Lots of talents across the board, big games, but we've gone with him again. Kane Chapman Kenny. KCK. How good is he? He is just, it seems every week he's on that pedestal.
He's what you call a hot boy.
He is.
I could compare
Very
him to Reece Walsh in the NRL. Just a hot, throbbing goer.
Big Frobbo.
Just ready to rip and tear. Ready to rip and tear.
The big Frobbo of the SRL, and, he's not one of those players that just has one game and then goes missing. But he is a consistent
Obviously
star.
Not. We've picked him 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 2 episodes and 2 big wins for the Player of the Week this week. KCK, congratulations on that, prestigious award.
Now, on the topic of Malchus Meats, Luke Malchus, obviously the owner of Malchus Meats, but
He's
his
a
brother,
fantastic player.
Mitchell Malchus, has been seen in a Broncos costume.
Yeah,
what are your
right.
thoughts on that?
That's an interesting one. We'll put that up on screen. Here he is. The Wishful Buck is the alias he goes by online. Mitchell Marcus. That's an interesting one. Do you think that's got any, aliens to him playing, perhaps for the Broncos in the future?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Luke has signed to the new club Melbourne Storm next year.
I did hear that.
Maybe this guy should be calling himself the Wishful Fuck, because I don't think he's going to the Broncos anytime soon.
Exactly right. If he wants his brother to go to the Broncos, he has to keep dreaming, because it's not going to happen, mate. The Wishful Buck needs to pack up his stuff and go.
Yeah.
But it's good to see, someone being that supportive of a team in the SRL wearing a complete Buck or Broncos costume. That's one supportive fan.
You support your brother. That's your family.
Exactly right.
You can't be doing that.
It would be like, Luke Trbojevic not going for Manly in the NRL. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. We'll head on to a bit of a betting, a bit of a punting side, if you will, of the show. A new segment, Same Game Multi of the Week. Now, as you can see on your screen, there was definitely so many good ones. Dom Pongston sent in a lot of multis.
He likes to get on the punt.
He loves a good gamble, Dom.
He does indeed.
So as you can see on your screen, this is the one we picked for Same Game Multi of the Week. All finished in the first half. Felix, do you want to go through what the legs were on this one?
Yeah, I would. This is one of the biggest multis I've ever seen in the SRL. Jacob Morrison, anytime try scorer. That was a very out there pick, and this was paying $8.75. Wow, putting $25 for the stake, winning $218. Levi Raymond as well. That's an interesting pick. And Oshaola, you can't go past that. But wow, that is a big multi, and I can see it with that one multi of the week. That is a huge win. So who put that one on? Was that Dom Pogston?
That wasn't Dom. That was actually. Let me go check my credentials, if you don't mind.
Because there's lots of players who like to get on the punt.
That was actually Matthew Harris who put that one on.
Oh wow!
And there's a photo of Matthew on the screen.
Yeah. Wow. Didn't know Matthew was a punting man, to be completely honest with you, but fair play,
He's a punting man, he's a betting man, and he's also a, what is he? He's a good man, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that matters.
He's a great man in the SRL community, and maybe he should send some tips for next week, because we need them. We are down thousands of dollars.
Dominic Stramanoli. This is breaking news.
Don't get me started.
This is fresh news today. Has been seen putting up posters.
Wow.
Of him saying he is SRL ready. Now, what are your thoughts on that, Felix?
Can I just say, I'm a Bathurst Blue Tongue. I'm a halfback myself. This is ridiculous. He needs to, focus on playing in the mines first before he goes to the SRL. That's my opinion. But, I love you, Dom. And you're a great mate of mine, in the Blue Tongue community. But putting yourself saying you're SRL ready, we need to focus on the mines, mate. We've got a mines tournament to win.
It's really selfish, isn't it?
It's
just a really selfish thing to say.
Yep.
If you can compare his behaviour recently, obviously getting knocked out last week, and then this, it's no wonder why he got knocked out.
Yeah.
You could kind of compare him to the Jerome Luai of the Mines
SRL community. Yeah, that's right. But he's a nice bloke off the field. He's a great man to me and all the other Blue Tongue guys.
He just had a bit of an ego boost because the Blue Tongues have been going tremendously.
Yeah, we are playing really well.
He had a bit of an ego boost and just got carried away with himself.
Exactly right. But
we got Jeff Tuvey on the line here who wants to...
We do have Tuvey.
Jeff Tuvey is the Blue Tongues coach, so we're going to cross to Jeff and he's got something to say.
Let's go to Jeff now.
Come on, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There's got to be an investigation into this. Someone's got to be accountable for this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was interesting from Jeff Tuvey there, but now we have another new segment, can I say, in the podcast. I know it's only episode 2, so there's going to be a lot of new stuff, but a new segment, Best Moments in NRL History. We know the SRL was inspired by the NRL, but we still want to showcase some of the biggest moments in NRL history, and we have one of the greatest today from the 2015 NRL Grand Final, Broncos v Cowboys. And let's pull up that clip now, shall we?
Comes up Blair, gets rid of Blair, pushes away from McCulloch. Thurston gets the ball to Morgan. Morgan crosses the 20, comes up O'Neill. Kyle Feldt. Feldt is in and score for the grand final.
Wow!
And Thurston will have a kick to win it from the sideline.
JT!
And what a try that was, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously a defining moment in Cowboys history. That try is the reason they have the new stadium. That try is the reason they got the players they've built up to now. The reason why players want to go to that club.
Exactly right.
But enough of the NRL. Let's get into the wholesome moment of the week. You want to take us through that one, Felix?
Yeah, I'd love to. I love ending on this because, some controversy out of last week. Wasn't as much this week, I will say, but it's always good to end. It's always good to end on a high note. And this week we had the Swarms boys getting a day off out and fishing around about the SRL communal area, which is amazing to see. I love when players just get to take some time off, relax, and focus on themselves. What do you think about all this, Talis?
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. In a competition that's so fierce on your body and your mind, a competition where everything is so grueling, and just like, it's hard. It's really hard being a player and being able to keep up with the things that go on.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice to see that there's a real brotherhood over there, and they're all together. They're all one unit. They're all fishing together. They turn up to the stadium together, as you can see in the pictures on screen, and it's wonderful to see.
It really is. I mean, a team can't win a comp or play well without being best mates. They say that the best teams have chemistry, and it seems that these boys are all having a really good time, just having a nice fish, all together, and this is great for the community. Last week we saw Malchus Meat's donation, and this week we just see a nice bunch of lads coming together for a good old time.
And I think that brings us to the end of the episode. A quickie.
A bit of a quickie episode. There's nothing better.
A bit of a quickie.
You'd expect that.
Once again, it's been a pleasure.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for letting us have this opportunity to bring you what we bring.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see you all next week. Hope you all enjoy this episode as much as you did the first one. Hopefully we see some good reception, and we'll see you all next week.